All right, it's time to stir the pot. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the daily fail, meme review, software releases, the websites by plebes or plebs. Drop us a like, subscribe. Number time. Let's do it. At the time of this recording, the block height is 683,176. The Bitcoin price, 56,480. Chain rewrite days, 593. Total lightning capacity, 1,292.05. No one noticed. It's steadily creeping up. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 8.82%. Sats per dollar. We are boring. 1,771. We are boring.
Man.
I know, huh? It was a little bit of a stacking day today. You know, we had some nice 55 action. That was fun.
Dude, I keep stacking, man. Just cheaper sats. But listen, Phil. Like
we're range bound. Like we said yesterday.
Or range bound.
That's why we're not spending a lot of time on this.
Yeah. But hey.
Well, actually, no, it's not true. We never spend time on this.
No, yeah, we don't really talk. We hate to speculate. But hey, Phil, there is good news. The hash rate did break an all-time high. So I am very, very bullish for the near future. But let's see what happens. I might be completely wrong. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. All right, guys. We're all excited, right? We saw this tweet. You know, there's a whole bunch of people that are all excited. You know, the Brady fanboys. Oh my gosh, he's got laser eyes. Tom Brady has Bitcoin. He loves Bitcoin. We're all excited. And it's over. Okay. Tom Brady is launching an NFT company. Oh, yeah. So, because we're seeing this more and more, right? We're seeing these profiles with the laser eyes. They think, I don't know what happened, but there's like a whole bunch of shitcoiners with laser eyes. Like, really? It's just a whole bunch of mixed messaging. Tom Brady, that's a total fail, man. Like, you should not be getting involved with NFTs. NFT is the new scam. Okay, it's just another way. It's, you know what? It's probably more sophisticated and smarter than ICOs, because here they can't get busted for securities problems, right?
Yep.
It's an NFT. Like, what is it? It's a picture. You know?
It's on the blockchain, and that supposedly means you own it. But man,
yeah, it's a horrible fail. So, dude, sorry, Tom Brady, you got it wrong. Take those laser eyes off, my friend.
Yeah, man. But dude, you know, there is a silver lining, Phil, and the silver lining that I see is, right, it's very simple, right? Is that, man, more and more athletes are going to start being accepted. Bro, if it's Okung, right? Now it's Tom Brady. Now we mentioned a couple other athletes. You know, a couple of them definitely, you know, are experimenting with shit coins.
But Okung is not.
No. I know Okung is not, dude. But, dude, you know, bro, we all got sucked into the shitcoiner in the beginning.
But, man, Phil, he went straight for the throat, man. NFTs.
Yeah, but let me ask you a serious question, though.
Sure.
If Tom Brady decides to accept his salary in Bitcoin, in a crypto, what crypto do you think it's going to be?
I mean, I obviously think it's going to be Bitcoin. But based on his decision to come out into this space and immediately be a really bad type of shitcoiner, they're all pretty much terrible types of shitcoiners.
Dude, total shitcoiner, total scammer. But I still think it's a little bullish, man, because more and more athletes, if they get paid in Bitcoin, they're more sovereign. It's better for everybody. But of course, as soon as they start shitcoining, that's exactly what Bitcoin Twitter's for. We will call them out relentlessly. Yes. Tom Brady, take off those goddamn laser eyes. You don't deserve them.
Till he gets it right.
Until you get it right. Till you get it right. Till you ready. Everyone, you know, shitcoining is part of the tuition, right? But it's about finding the sounder money, and that is Bitcoin. Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody, check out this meme. It's not a really well-known meme, but I saw it on my feed. I'm like, dude, we have to do a meme review. Check this out. It's by Sean Stacken, definitely a pleb. Nice. Let's pull it up. A few years from now, nobody will talk about Bitcoin anymore. A few years later, sale, buy 3 for 50 sats. He's upset. The guy that, the guy that supposedly knows it all, the no coiner. Check out this other meme, Phil. I bought a stock and it went up in value. Hedge funds are losing money, so you're not allowed to trade anymore? Oh no. Well, at last I made a little bit of money. Oh no, we're taking an unreasonable high percentage of that, the tax office. I guess I still have a little bit. Hey, what is happening? We're irresponsibly inflating the money supply, so your money is becoming more worthless. Man, so funny. So, dude, it's just, memes are just so good because they just perfectly explain a situation. They make you laugh in the process. And because of that, I'm going to give it the case in which my CPU came in when I bought it like 2 years ago, a Core i9 unlocked plastic CPU casing. Anyways, what about you, Phil?
Damn, i9. Still on an i7. It's a good score. Great meme. Great memes, by the way. I totally love them. You know what? It's interesting that you gave it a case to a CPU because I felt that this was worth half of an external hard drive case.
Oh.
A clear hard drive case. And only half of it, though.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Phenomenal scores.
Our work is unfinished. That's why it's a half.
Yeah, but my case is empty, right?
See, your case is empty. Mine's empty too, and only half.
And
they both gonna make people think. It's gonna make people think.
These scores, man. These scores. Sorry. Anyways,
apologize to anybody who's actually thinking about this.
Oh my god. The score system is a meme. Okay, guys, it's not supposed to make sense. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. It looks like inflation or hyperinflation is becoming, or the news of hyperinflation is becoming mainstream. Check out this article from Axios, which we're going to get to in a sec. The wild ride of pandemic consumer prices. We reported the other day about the Wall Street Journal also pointing out consumer prices going up. Let's check out the article. Consumer prices have been more volatile over the past year than at any point in decades. I wonder why. It's not like, they printed they just completely lost control. I've shown you that chart so many times, but just have to point it out because of how ridiculous it is. Why it matters. Congress has tasked the Federal Reserve with ensuring price stability when it comes to prices overall. Guys, the matrix is breaking. People are starting to notice, and this is starting to go mainstream. Last night, by accident, I was watching Tim Pool's podcast. It's a mainstream podcast. Tim Pool is the future of news. What we're seeing right now, like I said yesterday, disintermediation of not only money, but also the disintermediation of journalism, of information, right? So Tim Pool is up and coming. He has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, is a huge podcast. He usually has guests of all kinds. It's mostly political commentary. Yesterday, they had Max and Stacy on. It blew my mind. And check this out. Stacy mentioned by name Greg Zag, mentioned one of the plebes. They were talking about Bitcoin culture and mainstream. This has been Tim Pool's podcast is the future of what mainstream's going to be. And it was all about, the only reason they were invited is because guess what? First of all, Max and Max and Stacy are legends, right? Second of all, it's the money printing. Everyone wants to know what the hell is going on with the money printing. Again, here's Max Kaiser dropping Corey Clipson and Swan Bitcoin by name, right? It's so crazy. But check out this question by Tim Pool and Max's response. Again, this is a mainstream podcast. This channel has 1.1 million subscribers. CNN in 10 years won't be around. but Tim Pool will definitely take its place, or people like Tim Pool. Let's check out the video.
Prices are going way up.
Yeah, they are, yeah. Well, and you mentioned computer components and the price they're saying is going down. But that's actually, if you dig into it, a lot of times it's a lie. For example, if the phone, they'll say it's twice as fast as the phone that you bought 2 years ago, they'll say that means that the price has dropped by 50%. Even though you still paid the same amount. You paid $1,000. They say actually it's 50% cheaper because it's twice as fast. And that's what they cook into their books. And then when the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports the CPI numbers, the numbers are cooked. They're rigged. To show an outcome that they have pre-configured. They want to show 1.6% or whatever the number is. And they do whatever they can to hedonically adjust these numbers to get to that number because they have an incentive to keep the reported inflation as low as possible.
All right. So I'm sure that.
So first out, shout out to Max, just a legend, so phenomenal, so precise in his information. And of course, shout out to Tim Pool for having a Bitcoiner on the podcast, on his podcast. And man, you can't ignore it anymore. Everyone's noticing the gasoline prices. Everyone's noticing the food prices. Everyone's noticing that the inflation rate is a lie, the one that's reported. We're starting to see the truth, and it's starting to go mainstream. It's just a matter of time, Phil.
It really makes me think of that thing that we saw, the piece that we read about yesterday, right? With the, what's it called? The hackers and, the pipeline, right? Going to the East Coast and stuff like that. I have a feeling that we're going to hear, again, I'm putting the conspiracy hat on. I have a feeling we're going to hear more and more of these stories. And these stories, whether they are accurate or not, I think they're most likely not accurate. They're going to be meant to use as scapegoats. Like they're going to create these scapegoat stories so that we constantly have something to blame because look, like we've said 100 times before, that's it. There are no more rabbits to pull from the hat, right? The banker magician has nothing left, okay? So the only thing they have now, okay, is noise and confusion, okay? So here we go. We're going to have lots of noise, which has been building up, and we have plenty of confusion. And so many people have no idea. They don't even, you know what? When you explain to somebody passionately and logically what is wrong with the money, they shrug their shoulders. What can I do? Every single person. I know this. When I first figured out that, there was something wrong with the money supply, I shrugged my shoulders. Like, what am I going to do? And that's exactly it. But we have hope. We have Bitcoin hope now. So don't have to just shrug your shoulders anymore.
Absolutely, man. It's just so crazy. Once you start saving and putting your human capital, your energy into Bitcoin, right? It gives you. You're exactly right, Phil. It gives you hope for a better future, man. It's crazy, especially in this world of darkness and lies. But anyways, Phil, it's not only the mainstream I guess the mainstream millennial, the mainstream Gen Xer that's noticing about inflation. It's also companies that are really, really, really starting to buy into this idea as well. Another public company, this time they're called Plantir Technologies.
Palantir. Yeah.
Palantir. Thank you, Phil.
No
like
worries.
always, Nico can't read, episode 502. Anyways, during the call, just to quote the article, during the call, an investor asked, could you ever see, how do you say it, Phil?
Palantir.
Thank you. Having Bitcoin or any type of shitcoin or Bitcoin on its balance sheet. He responded, quote, in response, literally,
Palantir CFO.
Palantir CFO David Glazer, his response was the short answer is yes, right? So again, right, he goes on to say, if you look at our balance sheet, there's $2.3 billion in cash at quarter end, including $151 million in cash flow in quarter one. So it's definitely on the table. And look, you can infer everything you need to know when he says that, right? cash sucks. The idea that holding on to cash is going to cost you money. The whole thing that Michael Saylor for Bitcoin for Corporations, literally he went on the attack. He attacked cash. He said, you're losing value consistently through inflation if you're holding on to cash. Look at Bitcoin. So it's not only Michael Saylor, it's not only Tesla. Now we have another publicly traded company with a market capitalization of more than $37 billion, right? So, man, oh my God, I just didn't think everything was going to happen all in 1 year, Phil.
Dominoes continue to fall, man. I mean, look at that. $37 billion valuation on that company. You know? And they're looking at Bitcoin. And that's exactly it. You know, there's really nothing else. You know, these companies, and on top of that, see, these companies notice it even more because they have hundreds of millions or billions of dollars on their balance sheet. And once it clicks that, yes, that is a melting ice cube, and that balance sheet, that cash is just going to be getting you less and less purchasing power as time goes on. They know they have to do something. They have no choice. It's really fantastic that Bitcoin, you know, made this all apparent to everyone. You know, before Bitcoin, nobody, you know, you would explain this stuff with gold and everyone was like, meh, you know, I'm just better off with stocks or I'll get dividend payments. Like nobody cared, right? But now that Bitcoin is out there and it is this, you know, it is this mirror. It just sits there and it shows exactly what our money is doing and how it's breaking. So I love it. You know, I'm very, you know what, like you said, I can't believe it's all happening in the, you know, in like 1 year. All these companies are looking at it seriously. But I will have to add another point. I think they're all coming out with the news this year, but they've been looking at it for a while. And, you know, essentially, I think that a lot of these players are just kind of, you know, being cautious.
Yep. I'm so bullish. My face just because I've been smiling so much. I don't have any more reactions.
Yeah,
I'm just in shock.
Like another one.
Like yeah, it's like oh okay,
another athlete. Oh, another company.
Oh man, it's crazy. But Phil, to end the news segment on a more positive note, right? We've been talking about the judicial arbitrage of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin gives you this power not only to vote with your wallet, but also vote with your feet. So we reported a couple days ago, right? The new bill banning Bitcoin across New York, you know, for environmental reason, communist environmental reason. But you know, here's the thing though, that doesn't work. Can I tell you why that doesn't work in Bitcoin? Because you have other states, you have Nebraska, like Wyoming, like Miami, right? You have another state, you know, Nebraska state senator has proposed new Bitcoin and shitcoin friendly legislation, which could see his state become the next regulatory safe haven for fintech firms, aka Bitcoin, right? So while New York has fun staying poor and eating bugs and great resetting, you know, Nebraska is going to thrive. And not only Nebraska, it looks like the people of Hungary have also shout out Caro, the people of Hungary. Hungary plans Bitcoin tax cuts as part of economic recovery program. Apparently New York and California did not get the memo, but Hungary has. To quote the article, as part of the post-COVID-19 relief efforts, lawmakers are considering reducing taxes on Bitcoin and shitcoin trading to 15% of income, down from the current rate of 30.5. Wow. It's like, you know, it's crazy. It's like they want their people to succeed. Guys, just to clarify, you know, with my comments, we are apolitical on this show. We don't lean left or we don't lean right. We lean Bitcoin, which means we stand for freedom. We stand for individual freedom. So just to clarify that. But anyways, Phil.
Yeah, I think New York, you know, they're not, you know, they're building back broke. That's what they're doing. They are not doing the better part. I mean, even though that slogan's totally full of shit, like we said yesterday, but look, we are not kidding. The states and the countries that decide to not look at Bitcoin seriously and not figure out how they can play their part in the ecosystem will be left behind, right? Let's take a look at the internet, right? If you live in a country that for whatever reason has cut you off, from the internet, from this communication, this has seriously set you back. Okay. And that's pretty scary stuff, right? I mean, you can even take, for example, I can't even think of a place really, because it seems like people understood that they had to get access to this information. And I think that that's the same thing that's going to happen with Bitcoin. There are going to be countries, there's going to be places that are going to resist it at first, and they are going to get left behind, and they are going to become like the third world Bitcoin countries. And what's going to happen is that they are then going to have to play a lot of catch up, which, as we've seen in our current situation of the world, is difficult to near impossible once the ball gets rolling. So, I feel I genuinely I feel for states like New York for having poor decision makers that are really just basing their decisions on I can't say it, I can't say it differently than this, just terrible narratives, right? These are just bought and paid for mouthpieces that are ruining that state. So, anyways.
Dude, you're absolutely right. Very, very good points, Phil. And yeah, man, it sucks because Bitcoin doesn't care. No. Bitcoin doesn't care about your narrative. Bitcoin doesn't care about your ideology. In fact, Bitcoin doesn't care about your religion, your race, your skin color, whatever.
Nothing.
It's like you either get on the Bitcoin train, you can keep your narratives, just get on the Bitcoin train, or you can get left behind. It's just that simple. It's black and white, so people are going to learn that the hard way, unfortunately. And for the citizens of New York, come to Florida. It's nice down here. Anyways, Phil, there was a software release today or a website by Pleb. I don't remember.
Software releases or websites by plebes. All right, everyone. Our website today is thebitcoinrabbithole.com. Shout out to the creator and maintainer of this. This is a really cool site. The Bitcoin Rabbit Hole, Discover Bitcoin, YouTube videos, offer a full course for free. If we take a look, prerequisites for Bitcoin, crypto scams, financial frauds, advice for beginners. It's really cool. It's really well made.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
I love that artwork. Wow.
It's really well done. Really well done. And the thing about Bitcoin, right? A lot of people, when they first get into it, they kind of get overwhelmed with like all of this information, right? And this kind of makes it nice and easy, palatable. So, for the beginners out there, the people who maybe feel overwhelmed, or people who just want to have a review of, some of the good information that's out there, check out the bitcoinrabbithole.com.
Awesome. Thank you. I definitely will, dude, because I've never seen that website before. Looks really
for this.
Looks really, really well done. But all right, guys, you know what to do. That was our show. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Smash it. And of course, if you want to continue hearing the news from the Bitcoin Pleb perspective and the catastrophic fiat and shitcoin fails, definitely consider subscribing. And of course, we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.